My name is Tiavion Bain, and welcome to my TED Talk. Lynching, defined by Google. To kill someone, especially by hanging, for an alleged offense with or without a legal trial. Lynching, defined by me, an act of murder done by the white supremacy, targeting the Black community by wrongfully hanging a person because of the color of their skin. Throughout history, it has been acknowledged that Black men were lynched for crimes that they were accused to have committed. However, history failed to mention that women too were lynched. During the 19th century, Black women fought for equality by starting the women's rights movement founded by Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Susan B. Anthony. Women were overshadowed by men and were considered weak and unable to do a man's job. For years, women were not allowed to work or have a form of independency the way we do today. During this movement, women grew power and marched the streets for hundreds of people to see. They knew that this movement would stir up anger and violence from the white supremacy. However, I'm pretty sure they were unaware of the amount of lynching that would occur. Lynching was originated and was celebrated by the Ku Klux Klan, which eventually turned into a lifestyle that targeted the Black community. Black victims were burned alive and dismembered. Black women were stripped naked, raped, and then hung for either a crime that they did not commit or just for the white man's pleasure. This act was done with the purpose to instill fear in the hearts of colored women. As a Black woman with today's mindset, I commend those women during those times who remained strong and stood their grounds and stared the white man in the face as they were raped and hung to death, as they were tortured for years just for trying to stand their ground. My heart pours out sympathy. Two victim stories that stood out: Laura Nelson and Mary Turner. Laura Nelson was hung for killing a deputy sheriff, gang raped, and lynched together with her 14-year-old son after trying to protect him during a meat pilfering investigation. Her body was hung from a bridge for hundreds of people to witness. Some were in fear, some were satisfied. Then you also have Mary Turner, hung for being accused of talking back and making unwise remarks about the lynching of her husband and fighting to press charges on the white man responsible. She was 8 months pregnant when a mob of several hundred men and women murdered her. Both women, as mothers, hung to death for protecting their loved ones. What hurts more? No one was punished for the murder of Laura and Mary. During the 1800s and the 1900s, it has been said that 285 persons were lynched for causes such as unknown causes, making threats, practicing voodooism, protecting a Negro, prevent giving evidence, and so much more. Black women have suffered tremendously throughout the years. It is our duty to protect our young women, to remove the ropes that tie around their necks, set them free, set us free. Lift the heads of our young queens and tell them that they too matter. Because from my take, they were hung for being brave. They were hung for speaking out. They were hung for trying to make a change. And as we can see in today's generation, they have made a change.